Imagine buying a car for less than the price of a motorcycle. Sounds impossible, right? But there was a time when some of the world's most iconic cars were considered worthless, old, outdated, just used machines people wanted to get rid of. Some were sold for a few $100s, some were abandoned in garages, and some were cheaper than a basic bike. But today, those same cars are worth hundreds of thousands, even millions. From forgotten classics to supercars nobody wanted, these are 10 cars that were once dirt cheap, but are now worth a fortune. And number one, it went from scrap value to over $10 million. Let's begin. Number 10, Datsun 240Z. Back in the 1980s, the Datsun 240Z was just an old sports car. You could buy one for $2,000, sometimes even less. In some cases, they were cheaper than a motorcycle. People didn't see it as a classic, just an outdated Japanese coupe. Rust issues, old styling, cheap interiors. Many were modified, many were scrapped. But over time, car enthusiasts realized something. The 240Z was one of the first affordable sports cars that could truly compete with European models. Lightweight, balanced, beautiful design. Today, a clean original 240Z can sell for $50,000 to $100,000 plus. And rare versions, even more. From budget car to collector's dream. Number 9, Ford Mustang, first generation. In the 1970s and 80s, early Mustangs were everywhere. They were cheap, common, and often treated as disposable cars. You could buy one for just a few $1,000s, sometimes less than a high-end motorcycle. People modified them heavily. Drag racing, street builds, custom projects, original cars were rare even back then. Fast forward to today. First-gen Mustangs, especially rare models like the GT350 or Boss 429, are worth hundreds of thousands. Some even cross $1 million. A car that once sat unwanted in driveways now sits behind glass in collections. Number 8, Porsche 911, classic air-cooled. There was a time when old Porsche 911s weren't desirable. In the 1990s and early 2000s, people wanted newer water-cooled models. The older air-cooled cars felt outdated. You could pick one up for under $15,000, sometimes even less. But enthusiasts began to appreciate something special: the sound, the driving feel, the raw mechanical experience. Today, classic air-cooled 911s regularly sell for $100,000 plus. Rare versions, $500,000 or more. What was once considered old tech is now automotive art. Number 7, Toyota AE86. In the 1990s, the Toyota AE86 was just a cheap used car. Lightweight, rear-wheel drive, simple. People bought them for a few $100s, sometimes cheaper than a bike. They were used for daily driving or destroyed in drifting. But then, something changed. Car culture exploded. Anime like Initial D made the AE86 legendary. Suddenly, everyone wanted one. Today, clean AE86s can sell for $30,000 to $80,000 plus, for a car that once cost less than a phone. Number 6, Mazda RX-7 FD. In the early 2000s, the RX-7 FD wasn't popular. Why? Because of the rotary engine. It was complex, hard to maintain, expensive to repair. Many people avoided it. Prices dropped to $10,000 or less, sometimes cheaper than a premium motorcycle. But today, that same rotary engine is what makes it special. Unique sound, high revving performance, iconic design. Now, Clean RX-7 FDs are worth $70,000 to $150,000 plus, from unreliable to irreplaceable. Number 5. Nissan Skyline GT-R R32. When the R32 GT-R first came out, it was a performance monster. But years later, it became just another used car in Japan. You could buy one for $5,000 to $8,000. Cheap, common, often modified heavily. But then, the world discovered it. Nicknamed Godzilla, a racing legend. Advanced AWD system, twin turbo power. Today, R32 GT-R prices have exploded. Clean examples now sell for $50,000 to $100,000 plus. And rare builds, even higher. A car that once sat forgotten now dominates auctions. Number 4. BMW E30 M3. In the early 2000s, the BMW E30 M3 was just an old performance car. You could find one for $10,000 or less, sometimes in rough condition for much cheaper. People modified them, tracked them, or simply ignored them. But the E30 M3 had something special: racing heritage, perfect balance, pure driving experience. Today, it's one of the most desirable BMWs ever made. Prices: $100,000 to $250,000 plus, from cheap used car to collector legend. Number 3. Ferrari Dino 246 GT. There was a time when the Ferrari Dino wasn't respected. It didn't have a V12. It wasn't considered a real Ferrari. In the 1970s and 80s, prices dropped heavily. Some sold for under $10,000, less than many motorcycles today. But collectors realized something. The Dino had one of the most beautiful designs ever made, and a pure driving experience. Today, the Dino is worth $300,000 to $500,000 plus. A Ferrari that went from overlooked to iconic. Number 2. Lamborghini Countach. Believe it or not, there was a time when Countachs weren't expensive. In the 1980s and 90s, they were difficult to drive, hard to maintain, uncomfortable. Some older models sold for under $100,000. At times, even lower. Compared to modern bikes and luxury items, they weren't considered valuable. But today, the Countach is a symbol of the supercar era. Poster car, dream machine. Prices now? $500,000 to over $2 million, from impractical to priceless. Number 1. Ferrari 250 GTO. In the 1960s, the Ferrari 250 GTO was just a race car, used, driven hard, and eventually outdated. At one point, these cars were sold for just a few $1,000s. Yes, less than some motorcycles. People didn't see them as investments, just old race machines. But today, the Ferrari 250 GTO is the most valuable car in the world, selling for over $50 million, even $70 million plus in private deals. From cheap race car to the most expensive car ever built, cars aren't just machines, they're moments in time. And sometimes, the world doesn't recognize their value right away. What seems cheap today could be priceless tomorrow, because in the world of cars, the biggest fortunes often start as forgotten bargains.